So, have you ever had guests over and you're with your kids, and then your kid says something that is overwhelmingly embarrassing, and really the only thing you could do is look at your guests across the table and go,
Okay. I used to be afraid of the world outside my door, so I lived within the pages of a book. I used to be so scared of what I couldn't control. It seemed whatever I touched, I broke. The wind at my back, the grass so green, the sun on my face, it was all a dream till you said, wake up, wake up, wake up, take my hand. I'm here for you now, I'll help you stand. The world isn't so frightening, it's not all thunder and lightning, and as long as we are together, life can only get better. I used to be embarrassed about my eyes, my nose, my smile, so I hid my face behind my hair. I spent so many years feeling like I was drowning. Now finally I'm coming up for air. Laughing out loud, being part of a team, touching the stars, it was all a dream till you said, wake up, wake up, wake up, take my hand. I'm here for you now, I understand. The world isn't so frightening, it's not all thunder and lightning, and as long as we are together, life can only get better. Life can only get better.
good morning, morning coffee. It is January 19th, Monday, January 19th, 2026, and it is 4 a.m., and we're back to schedule. I'm enjoying this, the publishing and the writing, and I'm excited to be back in the swing with lots of new goals and wonderful things. Got my list, of course, always have my list. And let's start with saying welcome to our new subscribers. I'm so excited when our community grows every single week and we have new people, and so I want to say hello and welcome and thank you for joining our community, and I hope you have an enjoyable time in reading the stories that you do. Welcome to Lynn, welcome to Betty Boldbrew, fun name, to Liam, to Dr. Janine Inez, I hope I said that last name right, and to Jason Ward. Welcome, all of you, and look around, have fun. I'm trying to make Life of Fiction easier to navigate. It's still challenging with the Substack app. I love Substack. I'm such a fan. I tell everyone about Substack. But their app is still, it's still hard. It's hard to navigate. As a reader, discovering things is one thing. I really wish that they would create a bookmark feature, so you could tab and go back and read exactly, where you left off. That one feature, I think, would change everything. I've made suggestions, but who am I? Substack's not going to listen to me. Let's see. Stories. Well, things are going, I mentioned last week that Carley is courting someone, my 18-year-old daughter. I've got 5 left at home, and Carley and Simon, they both have a special someone that they're getting to know, and things are going very well for both of them. And the unusual thing is that last night we got invited to the young man who is courting our daughter, came over and asked permission a week or so ago. That was he was like sitting on our couch talking to my wife and I, and he's like, that was awesome. Yeah, that's the dad in me, and I just like the but we got invited over to his parents' house, my whole family, to have dinner. So we went over to dinner last night, and it was amazing. His dad's British, so we had his mom's American, and so we had a British, he said it was a traditional thing that most British, they have this as as a Sunday dinner, but we had a roast dinner with vegetables. It was fabulous. And that English mustard that he had, he says, try this. So I put it on the side of my plate, and I like, we're food snobs. I tell you that all the time. The food was fabulous. My wife and I, everyone loved it. Except for Ruby. She would not eat the Brussels sprouts. Well, Roman wouldn't either. So Simon did. Or I would have. I love Brussels sprouts. I grew up, I've always loved Brussels sprouts and spinach and things like that. But this mustard was incredible. It was rich, but the other side of the taste and the aftertaste, it tastes like horseradish, which I love. So that was amazing. So I'm he says, try a little bit with the roast, and that's how he ate it. So I tried that. Fabulous. But then I enjoyed the mustard so much, I was using the Yorkshire pudding and everything. I was just eating the mustard with everything, with the vegetables and the parsnips. Dang, I've never liked parsnips. I do now, the way that they make them. It was awesome. They have fabulous kids. I love the other teenagers. All the boys in that family. Yeah, wow. But then we had that moment. Where the kids, because the kids know each other. So we have that moment where all this discussion is going on across the dinner table. And there's a lot of us at this table in this little tiny house. And so I'm trying to just listen. And the stuff that's coming up from our teenagers is I'm wanting to bite my nails at some point. And then, the boys started talking about tasing each other. Like, how did you guys get a taser? Oh, well, that was Reese. He's connected to another story here. Kid from Wyoming. And then next thing you know, I'm sitting in the front room, and one of the brothers of the young man courting Carley is trying to show a film from his phone of recording Simon tasering himself and the other kids. Okay. Anyway, and it was so funny, but it kept, these frames. It looked more like a slideshow than a video. So the father said, well, here, come in the other room, he says, and let's upload it to YouTube, and we'll watch it on our YouTube account. I tried to download. I asked permission. I says, can I share this on Monday Morning Coffee? Because it's funny. It's stupid funny, and it's funny. Tasers himself in the arm, the inside of the thigh, and his backside, and it's funny. It's just stupid. But I couldn't download it. YouTube wouldn't let me do it. It's an unlisted video, and it's. I'm gonna try to embed it. If I can't embed it, I'm gonna give you the link. You got to see it. It's funny, and it's my boy. Oh gosh, so I'm kind of looking across the table, and I'm like, but they love Simon. They love Carley. It's a really neat merging of families, and so things are going extremely well, like it has with all of our kids and our inherited kids. What do you say? Son-in-laws. Son-in-laws and daughter-in-laws. We're a fun family. What I really like, by the way, Mother said, well, we told our boy that, how could you do worse? I mean, how could you get a better father-in-law than Jamie Buckley? And I put my fist across the table for Mom to fist pound. I was like, oh, I like you. Anyway, so that went well. That went really well. Now let's get on to Reese, the kid that brought the taser. So I come home, we're getting ready to go over, and Reese is in my home. He's never been here before. Now I've met him, but he looked familiar, and I met him in Wyoming. Turns out he's the nephew if any of you have been around for a long time, you remember when I kind of got carted off to Wyoming. Why does anyone go to Wyoming? But I go to Wyoming on a road trip to see my brother, so I don't have any way to escape. And then we play a game, and they tricked me. This was all a plan to get me up there to play a zombie game because I'm terrified of zombies, and play 7 Days to Die, which I now play from time to time. Reese was there. Great kid. Love that kid. But he's my brother's nephew. So, from his wife's family. Anyway, good kid. Really enjoy. He's funny. He's intelligent. Very well-mannered. There's nothing not to like about this kid. Even though he buys tasers and sneaks it into dances so he could do dumb things with his friends, including my son. Well, he comes in, and then Simon tells me, he says, Dad, guess what? Reese bought your comic book. Wait, what? What do you mean about my comic book? I haven't been selling my comic books for a long time. I give my comic books, the downloadable ones, for free. And he said, no, he bought. I was like, the big collection? Yeah, he did. And he loved it. Cool. So he's telling me the things that he loves about it, which was fun. I mean, I haven't heard anyone say anything in a while, and I don't know, when you're a writer and you get really good feedback from somebody that really loves your stories, your material, it's a picker-upper. You know what I mean? So I'm getting ready. I'm here in the office. I'm here at this desk, and Simon comes in with Reese, and they're looking around, and then Simon, I can't remember the conversation exactly, but I think it was like, Simon was like, so have you read the books? And Reese is like, wait, there's books? I was like, oh my goodness. Yeah. In fact, here's the old books, the 8 series that I've got. I don't know if you can see behind me. Where am I? There they are. So there. Yeah, the 8 novels. And but those are not published, and now what we've got this one, the choices, rewriting everything from first person perspective with Wendell. And he's like, wait, what? And then he says, we started comparing all the things from the comic books, that the comic books that he loved it so much. I says, that's only like 30% of the story. He's like, what? I said, yeah, there's so much more. And so some of the things that are in the comic books are in the novels, and there's things are out of order in the comic books because some things I couldn't create. I just couldn't swing. I couldn't figure out how to draw it and convey it. So I kind of cut things up and condense things with the comic book. And with the novels, I get to tell the whole story. So I was telling him about all this, and he's like, oh my. And so he's on his phone. He's like, I need to get this. And I said, and then Simon starts selling it. He says, then you need to get De Money Van Keel. He's like, what is that? So I pulled out the hardback of that, and I'm showing that book to him. And he's like, wait, what? I said, that's 700 years before Wendell even shows up. And he's like, And then Simon says, oh, and then you got to read Bloodsticks. You got to. And then so I pull out the original version of Bloodsticks, which it's now has a new cover and everything. Exact same story. But I showed the original version. I was like, here, do you want to borrow this? He goes, yeah. And I said, be careful with that. It's a collector's item because I only have, 2 of those or 3 of those. And that was the first printing, back in 2010, 2011. And there's only 3 available now. And they're on my shelf. He's like, I don't trust myself. So, but that was fun. And then, guess what? We showed him Life of Fiction. So we took him there. He's like, wait, what is this? And then I showed him Wanted Hero, which is the encyclopedia of all the characters and things. Yeah, if you haven't been there, that is where I kind of fill in. It's like my world building journal live on the internet, so people can go and start learning more as I develop more of the story. You can see the little pictures and the little things about Mahan and Thule and Wendell, Chuck, and Dax. And it just, I've been doing that since 2019 over on another website. So I show him that. And then I show him speed drawings. He's like, he appreciated it appropriately, I should say. It made my day. That's what I'm saying. It was wonderful. And so, welcome Reese. It hasn't registered yet. But he is definitely part of our community now as well. So that was fun. And I got to show him some music. Let him listen to. Yeah. So that was fun. So there's the connection with Reese. And he's got connections for tasers, apparently. So it was an interesting weekend. It was an interesting week. A lot has been done. A lot of writing was accomplished. Got another new project, almost done. Looking forward to that, of showing you what it is. I last week, because of the writing sprints, so I'm going to put this into the regular plug. Remember, today at 9 a.m. Pacific, so 10 a.m. my time, because I'm in Mountain Time, we have with Anne, Tell Me a Mystery, that she does her writing sprint. She does it on Mondays and does it on Wednesdays. And I love it. So if I can possibly be there, I go because it's fun. And I get a lot done. I think the writing sprint last week, I think I did we do 2 25-minute sprints. And I think I got, close to 1,000 between the two. 1,000. No, it was more than that. It was 1,200 words, something like that. You just vomit the stuff out. You get your ideas out on the page. You edit everything after. You just go. And yet I've been inspired every time I spend time with Anne and the other writers in the writing sprint. I feel so motivated to write. I always hated writing sprints. I always thought that was stupid. It's not. It's really not. It's so much fun to hang out with Anne. She's so lovely. And you're one of my favorite people in the whole world. I adore you. I think you're great. You are definitely the community personality. I just love this. And I got 2 of my daughters that like doing the writing sprints. So it's fun to see my girls. But it motivated me afterwards. And I think it turned out between the last 2 weeks, I completed the next novel. I mean, anyway, about 70,000 words over the last 2 weeks. So that's a lot. Yeah. Motivation. Yeah. Anyway, show up and do that. It's a lot of fun. I think I also discovered, again, I'm going to admit it out in the open. So I learned how to use AI for something. I know. And Hoban's like, watch it. You're taking this too far. I was like, Hoban, we're good. We're good. And so, I've been insane the entire time that you've been watching me. I've been talking to Hoban and Wendell and Chuck and Dax since 1990. So, it's a mental thing. So when I talk about we, well, it's me and the boys. But I did learn how to use AI to help me with website stuff because I'm not a tech person. And as my son Simon pointed out, he says, the easiest thing for AI to do and help you with is code, because all it's got to do is like open it up and look at its own chest because it's made of code. I hadn't thought about that before, and I was struggling with some issues with my website, with my store. And so Alicia McCullough, bless her heart, the wonderful woman, she says, well, why don't you use chat and use these prompts and ask it to do these things? And so I followed her instruction, and it did a breakdown. And so if any of you have a store or something online, I mean, you don't even have to be a writer. If you do things on the internet, so I had it analyze my store where I sell my books, and it came back and said, this looks really good. He says, but you do realize that listen to this, charging $999.99 for an ebook, that seems a bit excessive. And then it says, I know you're a good writer, but ... I was like, wait, what? Anyway, I go to the website, and it doesn't say that. And I use the Brave browser. And I argue with the AI, which I'm learning is stupid. It is like I'm arguing with myself. What's the point? But I argued. It's like, I can't see what you see. And it says, I promise that in other browsers, you have a large portion of your visitors that are coming that are probably not buying because, 5 or 6 of your books are listed at $999.99. I'm like, is that why I've not been having as many sales as I'd like over the last year? And it's like, probably. And then it gave me proof. It had me go into, if you're technical, you probably know about this. I don't know about this, but it's like, the inspect. So it took me into the code, which I don't know how to do. So it walked me through the steps. Son of a gun. It says $999.99. So I spent like 4 hours at least, and I went through this checklist, and I had to go to, because I use PayHip, it had me go and connect with, make a support ticket, and they helped me fix stuff that I couldn't fix myself, but I was blown away at all the stuff that I could not see, that the AI could see, and said, this is probably why you're not having traffic. And I kid you not, I went to bed that night, and I woke up the next morning, I looked at the traffic, and the traffic had improved by like 200%. Overnight, it spiked straight up. I didn't know. I just didn't know. So now I'm using AI to do, what do you call it? Site audits. Things, I'm asking it to look at things from the perspective of a reader so I can fix stuff. Who knew? Not me. But I do now. So that's what I've been doing. Cleaning up the mess. The mess that I tried to lovingly make, and that's just what happened. So there you go. That was my week. I love you. I think you're awesome. You are more than you think you are. And I think it's going to be a good week. I think you're going to ace this. I really do. I think you're going to do well. I hope you have a good day. I hope you have a good week. And I hope you achieve the goals that you are striving to achieve. Yeah. I'm already having a great day. We'll talk to you again soon. Bye.